Starting out our snubs, I have Seiya Suzuki of the Chicago Cubs. He's been a very popular name when it comes to people listing out their snubs. Suzuki is having by far one of the best seasons, if not the best season of his career in my opinion. Currently 25 home runs, a 263 batting average, 319 OBP, a 561 slugging, and an 880 OPS. Here's his savant numbers. He ranks amongst the greatest in the league in barrel percentage and his launch angle sweet spot. His batting run value is a 96 percentile of a 23, which is great amongst the best in baseball. His K rate, however, is an issue still. But the thing with Suzuki that stands out is your leader in RBIs isn't making the All-Star game. Is it not important to bat runs in anymore? He ranks 4th in home runs in the league. He ranks 5th in doubles. When you go to his slugging percentage, he ranks 4th in the National League. When it's OPS of 880, ranks 11th in the National League. Seiya Suzuki being a league leader in a category of RBIs at least, and not even making an appearance in an All-Star game, I think's absurd. Sure, he is a designated hitter / outfielder, and Shohei Ohtani is going to be that DH. I wouldn't be surprised if Suzuki makes the All-Star game as a replacement whenever players eventually either A, get hurt, hopefully not, or B, just decide of another reason not to go, because it always happens every year. Heck, I think a lot of these guys on this list are going to be that in that case, but with Seiya Suzuki, it's just baffling that he did not make it. I mean, the Cubs have another guy on this list I'm going to be getting to next, but they already got Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, and Matthew Boyd on this team. So maybe they just didn't have enough spots for Cubs to take all these guys. Because a lot of, like every team, you're going to have a player on like the Rockies making the team. But with Seiya Suzuki, it sucks not seeing him make the roster or cracking it out. But I think he will make it as a replacement. So this is a wild one to be left out. Michael Busch batting .297, a 384 OBP, a 566 slugging, and a 950 OPS. A guy with an OPS 50 points shy of 1,000 is not making the All-Star game. 18 home runs. He is by far on pace to have his best season of his career. And what's funny is the Dodgers got rid of him. Imagine he was still a Los Angeles Dodger. 97th percentile when it comes to his batting run value, which is better than Seiya Suzuki as a 25. XWOBA of a 401, 95th percentile. Expected slugging of a 576, 96th. Launch angle sweet spot as well, 41.1% of a 94th percentile. When you go down to his rankings, however, he ranks 5th in the National League when it comes to his batting average. Top 5. Top 5 in the NL again, in OBP, ranks 5th. Slugging percentage, 2nd best in the National League. OPS, 3rd best in the National League. You're telling me a guy who ranks top 5 in batting average, OBP, slugging, and OPS, and in which slugging and OPS he ranks top 3, couldn't make the All-Star game? I think it's crazy. Home runs, 11th, 13th in RBIs. Michael Busch is another guy that I think could make the game as a replacement. It's still baffling that he didn't make it as well because he is having a career year. Brought over from the Dodgers, that is, to the Cubs. It's just baffling to see. Like, look at the renaissance of his career. 2023, he started things out, was not good. 2024 is first basically full year, about a 248. This year he's hitting 297. He's clicked. Michael Busch should be an all-star. Next up, we have the richest man in baseball, Juan Soto. Juan Soto did have a tough start, but he just had a crazy run that he has been on. Look at these percentiles right here. Great in baseball. An XWOBA 457, 100th percentile in that, 100th percentile in expected slugging is 650, expected batting average of a 316, 99th percentile and hard hit as well, average exit velo, 99th percentile and batting run value has a 33, which is better than Busch and Seiya Suzuki, so you could argue Juan Soto should be there over them. A 263 average, which is surprisingly low for Juan Soto's concerns. 396 OBP, 508 slugging, but a 904 OPS. It's crazy that this is a down year for Juan Soto, even though he's still putting up these numbers, 21 home runs. When taking a look at his league rankings in the National League compared to other guys, Juan Soto 7th in the National League in home runs with 21. He ranks 1st in the National League in walks, of course, with 72. When you look at his OBP, is the 2nd best in all of the National League of a 396. His slugging percentage is 14th of 508, and his OPS of 904 is 7th in the National League. I think Juan Soto is a respectable snub just because of how slow he started this season. I think he will still make it to the All-Star game. Like I said, a lot of these guys that I'm going to be listing in this video will probably be replacements at best for guys that just either don't want to go or sadly get injured. But Juan Soto, you just can't really ignore what he's been doing. His expected batting average, everyone, is 316. 316. His current batting average is 263. So the advanced metrics are showing he is a lot better than what he has been doing over here. I think Juan Soto, expected slugging 650. His current slugging percentage is 508. Juan Soto is performing better than what his real stats show. I think if he started out even better in the early months, April and May, he'd probably be a shoo-in at the All-Star starter, possibly. Fan voting would have been better for him. But we're not going to have a Juan Soto at the All-Star game this year. It's going to be very odd, but I'm expecting him, honestly, to be a replacement. Moving on to Junior Caminero of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays have been a very interesting team this year. I didn't think they were going to be this good at what they have been, but the Rays have been proving a lot of people wrong. Betting run value compared to the other guys on this list isn't as great. He's at a 79th percentile of a 10. Bat speed's one of the best in baseball, 78% right there, 100th percentile. When it comes to his stats, why Caminero deserves this, he's having a career year. Third season in the majors, 21 home runs. His previous high was 6. 6. That's it. When you look at his stat slash line, that is 258 average. Previous high was 248. 301 OBP. Previous high was in 2023. We're at a 299. That is a slugging percentage of 508 this year. Previous high last year 424. OPS above 800, 809. Previous high was 723. When you go down to his league rankings, he ranks 4th in the American League in home runs with 21, 6th in the American League with RBIs and 57, and his slugging percentage is 6th in the American League with a 508. Junior Caminero, I think, is a very intriguing case of a probably big all-star snub when it comes to the American League, when it comes to offensive pieces especially. Could you benefit with the new ballpark too with Tampa? Because clearly his numbers have been amazing in that ballpark. However, I'm kind of curious to see how he does whenever they eventually go back to where their original ballpark is, or whatever that situation is going to look like. However, besides all this, I think this season should be rewarded, or should have been rewarded for Caminero. But yeah, I think this is a big snub, and he's only 22. Very young player compared to the rest of these guys on this list. So Junior Caminero is one of my biggest snubs in my opinion. Moving on to the first of two pitchers on this list, I have Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies. Great savant page, great advanced metrics, pitching run value of a 95th percentile and a 13. Off-speed pitches where he makes his bread and butter, a 99th percentile for him. Ground ball rate, very good. Extension, very good. Expected ERA, that is a 3.02. He's outperforming that of a 2.68 ERA this year. 102/3 innings pitched, 108 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.13 in 17 starts. A 7-2 record for the Philadelphia Phillies. When you go down to his league rankings, he ranks 7th in the National League in an earned run average of a 2.68. He ranks 14th in the NL of innings pitched. He ranks 11th in the NL in strikeouts, and whip he ranks 12th. I think Christopher Sanchez, when it comes to wins as well, he ranks 11th. With the ERA especially, he's a top 10 pitcher. Now, the thing with pitchers in the All-Star game, you have to account for there's going to be a lot of starters, and you're also going to need to throw some relievers in there because you can't just forget about the relievers. Even though you will usually not see a lot of relievers in the All-Star game, it's mainly the starters coming out of the bullpen. I think Christopher Sanchez is a very interesting candidate to be a replacement when it comes to pitchers. Him and the next guy on this list are probably the first two names because one of them is in the NL, one of them is in the AL. The NL guy being Christopher Sanchez. He's only 28. He's having a great year. He's having probably one of the best years of his career. I would say the best year of his career. He had a 3.32 last year, a year where I say he kind of bursted onto the scene for the Philadelphia Phillies. This year, he's outperforming that. I think he's going to have more wins, even though I don't really care about pitching wins. He's going to probably finish with better ERA, probably some more strikeouts, and right now he's having a way better whip from a 1.24 last year to a 1.13. Moving on to our American League pitcher that I think was snubbed, and in my opinion, well, many's opinions, is the guy that's the biggest snub. Framber Valdez of the Houston Astros, the first place Astros that is. His savant page might not be that enticing compared to a Sanchez, a 9 pitching run value, but his fastball run value is amongst the greatest in baseball, 95th percentile. He has an 11 when it comes to that. Currently a 2.9 ERA in 18 starts, 10-4 record, 115 innings pitched exactly, 115 strikeouts, so he's averaging a strikeout per inning and a whip of 1.15. When looking at Valdez's rankings compared to the rest of the guys in the American leagues, he ranks second in the American League in wins with 10. He ranks 11th in the American League with a 2.9 ERA. He ranks 5th in the American League for starts. He's been throwing a lot of innings, and it's making it count with the standings for stats. He ranks 4th in the American League with innings pitched. When it comes, he ranks 20th, that is, in the American League when it comes to hits allowed. 41 walks is 6th best in the American League, 6th in the American League in strikeouts as well, and a whip of 13th in all of the American League. This is a guy that is one of the best in all of baseball. He is going to be getting a lot of money this offseason. So yeah, Framber Valdez, I think, is a very big snub. I think he will probably make the game as a replacement, because you would think not all the pitchers are going to be healthy or want to participate, so they'll probably have some replacements to go to the All-Star game. He'll probably join the Astros contingency going, but yeah. That's my last snub. Leave a comment down below of who you think got snubbed in this All-Star game, and honestly, who got snubbed from this video that I didn't include. There were a couple of names like Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber you could bring up as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more baseball content. Like the video, and make sure to comment down below your thoughts about who was snubbed from this year's All-Star game, and honestly, maybe who shouldn't be on the team. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.